Good morning. Welcome all. Please rise for the procession of the faculty and the 2023 graduating class of Great Hearts Irving Upper School.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and families of the graduates, faculty, gathered students, members of our campus and district administration, Texas Great Hearts Board, and honored guests. Today, the 27th day of May, 2023, we are gathered to recognize these graduates' successful completion of the 4 years course of study prescribed to them by the governors of Great Hearts Irving Upper School, Great Hearts Academies, and recognized by the state of Texas. The faculty of this Great Hearts Academy have come to present these candidates for graduation to ask the board of directors to confirm and endorse these young men and women as graduates of the Academy, the class of 2023. There is nothing that the school does in which it takes greater delight than what we do here today.
To begin our addresses this morning, the Academy has selected a graduate as salutatorian to speak on behalf of the senior class. This student has attained academic excellence throughout his high school career. Moreover, he has contributed richly to our Academy over the last 4 years. I am very pleased to present to you our salutatorian of the class of 2023, Mr. Muhammad Punchbaya.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Commencement for the class of 2023 of Great Heart Irving's Upper School. I'd like to thank you all for being here today to witness this conclusion to our journey through high school. To my peers, to my classmates, to my fellow graduates, we made it, guys. Every step, every obstacle, every challenge we've had to face so far, it's all been for this. It hasn't been easy. Climbing this mountain, this labyrinth full of twists and turns. It's been crazy, but it's been a dream, and by the end of it, it's been all for this. We're here, standing together at the summit. 4 years ago, we entered high school as, well, fresh-faced freshmen. We didn't know what to expect, but we were pretty excited. And I think, furthermore, we thought we knew how it was going to go, right? We were going to go through 4 years of school, and we were going to graduate. We were frankly enthralled for a lot of things. We got new uniforms. We got to be with the upperclassmen. And we got a new building. And I think, to quote Mr. Malpiedi, one of our former teachers, this building had 40% bigger hallways. Now, having gone to the lower school yesterday to do our senior walk, I can tell you we needed those. And frankly, again, we really thought we knew how these 4 years were going to play out. But I don't think anybody predicted what was going to be thrown at us. We had a global pandemic. We had distance learning. We had hybrid learning. We had all these things that, frankly, left us confused for a while. And generally, I don't think it really achieved normalcy until maybe halfway through junior year. But we managed to weather the storm against all odds. As our parents can probably attest, their blood, sweat, and tears poured into it every single night. And although we remained unsure of when life would be the same again, we pulled through, and it was all for this. This is the light at the end of our collective tunnel, and we made it. We've experienced so many things as a community over the last few years, and I genuinely think that our graduate class is the most unified class that this school has ever produced. And I don't think it's a prediction, it's a spoiler to say that it will be, at the end of everything, the most unified graduating class that this school has ever produced. We've done a lot of things, like especially this year, for example, our production of 12th Night in drama, we were able to channel Shakespeare, we were able to put on a performance for everyone to enjoy. At prom, we were able to cut loose, spend a night with each other, and just be ourselves. And at the spring concert, we were able to sing songs a cappella and create music for everybody to enjoy. And then there were the extracurricular shenanigans that we engaged in. But I think throughout all of it, the message that we've been unified, that if even one of us wasn't here, there would have been none of these things. Each one of us played our part. And that's something we can all take pride in, that we've left our imprint on this school forever. And before I wrap things up, I'd like to thank some people who have made this journey possible. First of all, I'd like to thank our teachers standing behind me. All of us, man. Yeah, sure, give them a hand. Genuinely, you guys set the standards for us. You guys gave us all the knowledge, and you helped us learn. You made sure we were supported every step of the way. And without you guys, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be getting these diplomas. Thank you guys, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart. More people I'd like to thank. our parents. And nothing would have been possible if not for you guys. Yeah. You all have witnessed our highest highs, our lowest lows, but you've always been there for us. You've never abandoned us. You've always been the rock that tethers us back to reality. And again, without your support, we wouldn't be here. That's a debt we can't pay back to you, and we're infinitely grateful to every single one of you guys. And lastly, I want to thank every single last one of you guys, the class of 2023. Man, personally, I know I wouldn't be standing here today if it wasn't for each and every one of you who had my back every single day, day in, day out, ever since I came here in 8th grade. I hope that it's something that we can say about each other long after today, that it's just been a joy to be in each other's company, to get to know you guys, because I know that's the case for me. And I hope that every single one of you guys finds success, no matter where you go in life. And with that, I'd like to leave with one final quote. This quote reads, "Discipline is the difference between those who have it and who want it." And over the course of our journey here, we've wanted it. Well, guess what? We have it now. We're disciplined. We've made it this far on discipline. And just stay disciplined, guys. You never know where it could take you. You'll be successful that way. And yeah, with that I'd like to conclude. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Panchbaya, for your thoughtful address. The Academy is privileged to bestow our very, very highest honor, the title of Valedictorian of the Class of 2023, on a student with the highest academic record who has demonstrated a consistent zeal for learning and an evident appreciation for our shared project, both academically and athletically, over his high school career. It is my pleasure to welcome to the stage Mr. Elijah Klassen.
Folks, I just want to say, just like Muhammad, I don't want to repeat everything he said, but thank y'all all for coming out. I personally think it's a little early, but it looks like most of you are awake. I'm going to start, rather than conclude, with my thank yous. I second everyone that Muhammad thanked. I just want to add a couple more people. As Dr. Dyer mentioned, I have played a few sports here, as well as most of our class, I think. And I want to say thank you to our coaches. Just like our teachers, they were some of the most formative and guiding figures throughout our time here at high school. And to our mentors. We all had the senior theses this year. We were all assigned an advisor. And I think most of us, if not all of us, formed a deep bond over that with our advisors. And they became sort of mentors to us. Mine was Mr. Ayuskiza, who's not here today. He's getting something with his citizenship. It's great for him. But I know that all my classmates as well love Mr. Agiskiza, so even though he's not here, I think we should all give him a big round of applause in spirit. My speech today is not long. It's the first time I've ever wrote a speech, and it's not too special. But speaking of special, I think that from the moment that we entered the HL classroom freshman year, and we had our first seminar, we knew that we were special and that we were different. We weren't taking, AP classes. We weren't getting college credit, but we were 3 steps ahead of everyone else already. Freshman year, talking about virtue, living well, and diving into texts that most other people may never read. And that continued throughout high school, and I think it all culminates in one point, and that is that we're to go out in the world militant. In our future, we are sent out as specially prepared to fight for all the things that we've been talking about in HL for the past 4 years, to show the world what they've lost and what they're missing. I have one quote today. It's a Reagan quote, and he said that freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. It's our job to protect our freedom now. It's our turn to show everyone what life truly is all about. For all its ups and downs, for all the very few times that we complained about it, and very many times that we praised it. High school has prepared us. High school has enabled us to fill out this mission. And we can now go on with our lives after this, using what we learned to fight for our freedom, to make the world know what it's missing, and to truly bring the world goodness. After this, every one of us is doing something different. Everyone is going to carry on this fight in their own way. But no matter how unreasonable the world is, no matter how much of an obstacle people pose, we are the ones that control our lives now. We are the ones that can make sure that no one takes our freedom and our life out of our hands. We leave now and go our separate ways, but no one and no thing can ever take away the skills that we've learned. As we all go our separate ways, like Muhammad said, we are united. And our place in the ranks of those fighting for truth, beauty, and goodness is what's going to keep us together forever. So onward, class of 2023, to fight and to be free.
Thank you, Mr. Klassen. Graduates, to send you forth, the Academy has invited Dr. Claudia McMillan to offer today's commencement address. Dr. Claudia McMillan is my dear friend and colleague of 25 years. She is the founder and executive director of the Macmillan Institute and founding director of the Louise and Donald Cowan Center for Education at the Dallas Institute of Humanities and Culture. She is an editor and contributor of What is a Teacher? Remembering the Soul of Education Through Classic Literature, and has published on such topics as William Faulkner's comic novels and the poetry of the Harlem Renaissance. She began teaching in 1981 and has served in the high school classroom and administrative offices as a teacher, department chair, and dean of curriculum and instruction, and also in the university as the visiting assistant professor of English and associate dean in both the Braniff Graduate School and the Constantine Undergraduate College at the University of Dallas. She holds the PhD in literature from the University of Dallas. Please join me in welcoming our dear friend, Dr. Claudia McMillan.
Parents and guardians, Dr. Dyer, Great Hearts faculty and staff, and distinguished guests and graduates. I am deeply honored to be here with you today on this very special occasion. And to my young friends assembled here in the first 3 rows, I celebrate your achievement. It is good to see you again and to see you that much closer to entering the world. But that time has not yet come. After a transitional summer, most of you will be flowing into other hallways of other classrooms, college and university. And that's not the so-called real world, no matter how carefully the experiences there are crafted to be. The real world is something else, and it cannot be avoided by thoughtful people like you have been educated to be. In some ways, I'm sorry to confess, we have made a bit of a mess of it for you. On the one hand, you could say that you are entering adulthood at an extremely exciting time, only matched in my experience by the 1960s. On the other hand, we who are in charge today have often bought our higher ground at great expense. We are suffering from a drought of civility. The tension we have caused has spread its arid bitterness over you, like Odysseus on Circe's island. We are all longing for home with dried up souls. Now, every graduation speaker tells about how the world needs the graduates at hand, but I'm afraid that I mean it. While the vitriol of our day reveals that many of us grown-ups lack the skill and the wisdom, the education to live well in democracy's community, this is a time worthy of you, a time worthy of the work you've done. Because of your distinctive education that you've already received, you may be called upon to lead in the years ahead in ways that we cannot yet imagine. I don't say this to scare or unsettle you. My point is that the education you received here was designed to help you confront and contemplate many of the realities of the world. Over and over, and from many different angles, you have explored the nature and the habits of the most complex creature in the universe, the human being. So even though you have almost certainly not fully tested the strength of the education you have received, I want to point out that you have already been educated to survive and prevail, even in complex times. So we pause here, as it has been said, because this is a significant moment. It's your moment. When we leave this place, you will no longer be high school students. This ceremony is the channel through which your childhood will empty into your adult lives. This moment, right now. And so for the next few moments, I just would like to mark this splendid occasion by reflecting on some of what this education does in the ideal. In the ideal, the education that you have already received has equipped you with the foundations to live fully as individuals within democracy. That is what a liberal classical education was designed to do, learning for learning's sake, as Donald Cowan explained. where the power of learning itself engenders a largesse in each person according to our own bent. But learning for learning's sake is difficult, you might find, to justify and explain. As Roosevelt Montaz said in his recent book, Rescuing Socrates, How the Great Books Changed My Life and Why They Matter for the Next Generation, the true value of a liberal education cannot be stated succinctly any more than a theme can express the full meaning of a novel. However, while the day-to-day application of your education will and must be determined by each and every one of you throughout the course of your lives, when it comes to describing the impact of such an education as you have received in life in the whole, that's another matter. This is where your kind of education shines. So, what was going on behind the scenes all these years? Or, if you will pardon the grammatical inadequacy of this expression, what have you been educated for? I want to say on this occasion, what have you been educated for, rather than what your education has equipped you to do, because to do is very much a personal matter. And that is all very well and good, even necessary. However, although a classical liberal education does equip one individually, in truth, it does so much more, stretching us well beyond ourselves. And in the sense, the outward motion of the preposition for works better. So in the ideal, I believe that you have been educated for community, first and foremost, for the true and sacred community with the other mortals who walk this same earth. True community, as you've already experienced, no matter how close you may be, is a complex, difficult matter. And it's a never-ending effort, but it is the object of living. You have been educated for a depth of mind and breadth of spirit required to receive it. You have been educated for humility and civility, to nurture the communal task, to comport yourself with dignity, restraint, and grace so that culture may flow from you. All those seminars and discussions were not simply a workout for your mouth and mind. They were that, but they were equally, if not more, for cultivating a generosity of spirit in you, in conversation, in listening, in hearing, and that greatest gift of all, in having the wit and the wisdom to know when to concede and when to change your mind. Your path will not always be shared with companions like these. You know that, but I tell you now, after all these years, the journey is sometimes difficult and lonely. Never fear. While communion with others is the ultimate and the noblest end of humankind, you have also been educated for the in-between times when you must walk and stand alone. But you have already been educated for courage, to walk into that fiery breach and stay there, to step into the void with only your integrity to steady you on your way. Even in the midst of lonely times that wither the soul, know that you can endure because you have been educated for beauty, to see and to seek its life-giving graces, the state that creates a calm center in even the most tormented moment, tormented heart. You have been educated for truth and for the reality that one usually suffers into it. But because truth exists in all its manifold manifestations, it deserves our attention, however difficult that may be to discern. You have been educated for wisdom, a quality that, while always beyond us, is always, always worth our reaching. You have been educated for freedom because you have been stretched beyond the child's fantasy that freedom is doing whatever one pleases. Freedom in its most profound human sense, as you already know, comes with profound responsibility. It is its own kind of limitation. You have been educated for freedom from prejudice and unthinking bias. You have been educated for self-awareness and compassion that shape the inward and outward motions of the virtuous soul. And you have been educated for choice. Not many people can say that. You have been educated for choice, such a rare and splendid gift. You have the ability to choose to strive and succeed, and you may choose also to exercise self-control, to be less self-concerned when sacrifice is called for, to be less self-focused when generosity is required. You have also been educated for delight and wonder. Reject cynicism, my dear young friends. It is the coward's dodge. Already in your young lives, you have confronted the sins and witnessed the glories of the human record in history. When things go awry, as they often do, recall the past to avoid drowning in delusion or despair. Embrace hope again and again, as many times again as you need. Hope will quench your soul. It will fuel the change and constancy that you need to face each day. I don't mean to imply that you have been educated only for crisis and difficult times. The truth is that the impact of your education will be most evident in your daily lives, in the way in which you may find meaning in those quotidian duties and the dailiness that torments less liquid souls. Try to be a good steward of the moment. It is the stuff of time. And here has been laid the foundations for a life of the mind that can grace every day with abundance. Because most importantly, I believe you have been educated for gratitude, for love, and for joy. Graduation speakers sometimes avoid sharing moral lessons or exhorting graduates to be more. As you can tell, I have made no such omissions here today. I hope that I've avoided the most tedious platitudes, but from the long purview of my many years, I wish to say to you who have been so tenderly, thoughtfully, lovingly, and deeply educated, you are special, and you must begin to get ready to take your place and love our broken world, this wonderful age. So go seek your degrees and training, but remember that you have already been educated to receive blessings with gratitude, to love with sensitivity, and whatever the hardship, to keep opening your heart with humility to the presence of joy. In truth, you're among the few graduates walking platforms this month who have been introduced to the profound idea that you have the responsibility not only to benefit your own life, but to help raise the tide for all of humankind. Do you remember our poem? A month ago, we shared an hour discussing a poem together. It seems appropriate to recall a bit of it here. And this is from Denise Levertov's The Fountain. Don't say there is no water to solace the dryness at our hearts. I have seen the fountain springing out of the rock wall, and you drinking there. And I too, before your eyes, found footholds and climbed to drink the cool water. Don't say there is no water. That fountain is there among the scalloped green and gray stones. It is still there and always there with its quiet song and strange power to spring in us up and out through the rock. My dear young friends, your education has brought you to this fountain. Whether you drink its quiet song and strange power again is up to you. My hope is that you will, and that you will resist the parched critics who say in the world that there is no water, with all the strength of your hearts and minds. Spring up in us in this spring season of your lives. Be the water that comes up out through that rock. Rise up and shower your gifts on this thirsty, precious world.
Thank you, Dr. McMillan. We have now come to the central moment of the morning in which the Academy will grant diplomas to the class of 2023. I ask that Ms. Catherine Brandolini, Assistant Headmaster, join me at the table, and I ask Ms. Rachel Paletti, Assistant Headmaster, to come to the podium and call the roll of the graduates. Graduates, please rise and take your places.
Graduates, as your names are called, please come to the stage to receive your diplomas from Headmaster Dyer. Sebastian Abadi. Ashlyn Rose Abish. Amina Fatima Ahmed. Asya Fatima Ahmed. John Michael Patrick Bean. Isabel Ruth Ellis. Adam Fazal. Lauren Olivia Fremel. Agnieszka Helena Granowski. Sydney Greiner. Mai Tyne Ha. Ryan Michael Johnson. Maria Ann Joseph. Holly Christine Kinman. Elijah John Klassen. Angel Alexander Maniangatu. Maria Fernanda Teresa Marin. Eduardo Cristobal Martinez. August Christopher Morris. Joseph Edward Bean Morris. Brendan Oliver Mueller. Alexander Philip Muller. Ella Catherine Olson. Muhammad Panchbaya. Jaden Solomon Parks. Evan Thomas Peters. Reagan Tashira Rangel. Catherine Grace Saliga. Danielle Michelle Sanford. Hannah Sarah Santosh. Catherine Elizabeth Shunk. Camila Sechel. Alexandra Crionas Spence. Atyab Syed. Sarah Catherine Tierney. Brendan Michael Valenzuela. Thomas Michael Volton. Graduates, please rise and turn to face the audience. Please move the tassels on your caps from the right to the left. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me. I was about to ask you to join me in congratulating them, but well done. Graduates, please be seated.
Graduates, this is my exhortation to you. You have today achieved a truly heroic and beautiful endeavor of graduating from Great Hearts Irving Upper School. And your accomplishment is extraordinary. As you'll remember, at the beginning of the school year, I said to our student body that we all live two kinds of stories. The small s story, the story that we live, our personal stories, and the big S story, the story that we live into, the one that is larger than ourselves. As for the latter, we might call the story that you have lived into at Great Hearts Irving Upper School both comic and epic. For as the leaders of our Great Hearts community, you have discovered, like any great epic hero, that the fullest life is one lived not as the hero of one's own story, but a virtuous life lived in service of others. And you have likewise discovered, like any great comic hero, that the richest life is the one lived not with the economy of the closed heart, but a daring life, an awakened life, an overflowing life that gives one's all for the sake of love. May you go forth and continue, as you have here, to ask the right questions as you live into a story that is larger than yourself. What is justice? What is mercy? What is goodness? What is truth? What is friendship? What is heroism? What is courage? What is honor? What is love? Must philosophical disagreement dissolve the deeper ties of friendship? Or can an intellectual argument be smoothed over by a senior trip, a class play, a vibrant humane letters seminar, singing together in pursuit of beauty, as you will today, or a good game of volleyball? Is utility the ultimate aim of one's education? Or might Shakespeare, a beautiful sonata, a Euclidean proof, a painting by Rembrandt, or a gorgeous Latin verse put something deeper in our interiorities of being that will sustain us far beyond the parchment that has been bestowed upon us today? Is the pursuit of justice about seeking, recording, punishing, and canceling others for their wrongs? Or, as you've learned from Shakespeare's Tempest, is the rarer action in virtue than in vengeance? As you've learned from Socrates, is justice indeed about ordering your own soul, about building the ideal city inside yourself? And what does that ideal city inside your soul look like? As you considered in your final Humane Letters seminars on Brothers Karamazov by Dostoevsky, what does it mean when Father Zosima says, each is guilty for all, each is responsible for all? What does it mean to love one's neighbor? And who is one's neighbor? As we surmised in those HL seminars, every person, every human being is my neighbor. Class of 2023, as Alyosha Karamazov says, one good memory can save you. May you feed your soul with the memory of the questions you have asked here. No matter how far away you travel, may your love for this academy and the gratitude for what she has given you fill your hearts. Years from now, may your memory of this place break open your souls anew, and may you reflect that it was out of relentless love, courage, deep sacrifice, hard labor, true grit, and the keen pursuit of the beautiful that your teachers, your administrators, and your parents built this school and made all of this possible for you. In the days to come, may you be the ones who continue to ask the right questions. Great Hearts Irving, graduating class of 2023. Or should I say, graduated class of 2023. May you continue to live into a story that is greater than yourself. For the ink is not yet dry. There are many pages yet to be penned. And I know what remains to be written in your life will be most extraordinary. Thank you. Thank you. Ms. Williams. Ms. Williams, will you please come to the front? And graduates, please assemble on the stage. Now the graduating class of 2023 will sing The Road Home by Stephen Paulus as a farewell to Great Hearts Irving. Everyone, please stand for our choral anthem, Gaudiamus Igitur. Congratulations, class of 2023. Good day, and for one final time, farewell.